Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for September of 2020. Well, Mars is a traditional ruling planet of yours, and it's going retrograde this month. You probably knew that from our last month's horoscope. Fortunately, Venus and Mercury are direct and fast, and we've got a couple of moons to report too. Hey, Julia, you want to start us off with that Mars?
Sure. Hey, Scorpio. So Mars is going retrograde in Aries on September 9th, and this is all happening in your sixth house. That's the house of work. That's also the house of health, too. So when Mars goes retrograde, it tends to create a lot of frustrations and even flare-ups.
Yeah.
So within the sixth house, it could mean that you get into fights with people you work with, like coworkers or clients or customers. And since the sixth house is the house of health, if you have any chronic conditions like migraines, like anemia, like inflammation, those are all sort of Marsy types of conditions,
Yeah.
and they could definitely be acting up now, which is annoying. Now, between September 10th and 12th, all of the outer planets are going retrograde, including Mars. So I'm basically telling people that September isn't the best month for starting new things, especially close to that period, because having a lot of retrogrades when you're starting something new means that there could be some unexpected turns that the project takes, or something else squirrely could be going on. And Jamie and I actually even did a video on the Mars retrograde cycle, especially as it's hitting the pandemic hot degree.
Yeah.
So you should also check that out. I think it's in our 2020 news playlist.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to Mercury, the planet of communication, the planet of thought, it's direct and fast, and it's going to be entering your 12th house on September 5th. So any planet that goes into the 12th becomes a bit more hidden. And Mercury means that you might be keeping your thoughts a lot more to yourself than usual. Like, you might just kind of, if you're thinking or strategizing about something, not wanting to tell other people around you. And it could also mean that you could be getting your information from some rather unconscious places, because that's what the 12th house rules. So dream states or meditation states, for example. And then Venus, the planet of relationships, the planet of beauty, she's moving direct and fast, and she's going to enter your 10th house between September 5th and 6th, depending on where you live in the world. 10th house is the house of career. It's also the house of authority figures. So you could be enjoying a fruitful period in your career, especially if you do things Venus related, like mediation or design or work in beauty or art industries. And it's also great time for getting along well with authority figures in your life, like asking them for favors, for example.
Yeah, and maybe job interviews would be
Yeah,
probably,
that would be
you
really
could
good for
really
Venus
present
in
well
10.
for that. That could be really nice. So there are also a couple of moons going on this month, starting right away at the beginning of the month with a full moon in Pisces in your fifth house. Now, anytime the full moon is in Pisces, there's going to be a very big theme of dreaming. In this one, there's also a big theme of doing and how they balance against each other, because that sun in Virgo is in a grand trine with Uranus in Taurus and Pallas Athena in Capricorn. And so all of that lunar dreaminess that's popping up here in your very creative and expressive and playful and fun-loving fifth house can be balanced by actions which might be actions to do with community, with tribe, with friends, even with um, you know, socio-political ideologies that you might align with. So yeah, the dreaming and the doing and the balancing of the two. Now, also, we have another moon coming up later in the month, around the 17th. And that is where the moon and the sun have gotten together in Virgo in that 11th house, which is, it's a house of tribe, of community, of people that you feel a sense of alignment with, belonging with. It's also a house of very long-term goals and ideals, if you will, and ideologies too. And so the sun and the moon, when they get together like this at a new moon, there is this feeling of planting seeds which are not to bear fruit right away, but which will take some time to germinate and come forth from the dark place that they're planted in. And new moons are, generally it's the dark of the month. And now this particular new moon forms an absolutely beautiful trine over here to Pluto and Saturn, which are still quite close to the pandemic hot degree that they formed back in January. And so it's that pandemic hot degree that has us all feeling such a tremendous sense of oppression this year, 2020. And Jupiter and Mars have been lighting up and triggering that pandemic hot degree quite a bit. But a moon like this one that trines it can bring moments of solace, moments of soothing, moments of peace amidst all the turmoil. And in this particular case, because this moon is in the sign of Virgo, I like to think that acts that have the quality of integrity really hold the key to tapping off some of the stress and discomfort of the pandemic, and that you might find that it's community where you want to be doing those acts of integrity. So that's what we have for you this month, Scorpio. You can always find us on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology. You can also find these horoscopes on our website at pandoraastrology/horoscope. And I don't know if you noticed, but your birthday is approaching, and because it's approaching, you might want to think about getting your solar return birthday reading during the month before your birthday, because that month is the month when things most rapidly change, because the stuff of the previous year is fading out. The stuff of the new year is starting to, come in, and you can learn about what is to come before it even happens and align with the themes of your year so as to get the most out of it. So we would love to do that reading with you. You can find us at pandoraastrology.com/services, and you would want the birthday solar return reading. So until next month, Scorpio, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.